Aloha kako, this is Mike again here with another Kia'i for the Kia'i Conversations. New year, new format. So, you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Stephen Thomas. I'm from Central Oahu, right here actually, in Waikakalaua Gulch, old plantation village for pineapple days. I work for a federal contractor, and so I'm employed.
Okay, so what made you join this movement?
I think that I was just waiting. I was just in the early 90s. I joined the sovereignty group Kalahui Hawai'i, and I soon realized that there was a sovereignty group here, a sovereignty group there, and a sovereignty group there and there and there, and I just saw it losing steam. I didn't lose interest, but I believe that there was so much division in the Lahui back then that it was difficult to stay with one group when you didn't see anything coming of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was all well intended. You know, it was the beginnings of what is now.
Yeah, what we see now. So it's like did you kind of like, I guess, kind of staple off of those, and then you were waiting for something to come up again?
I think I was a different person. I was very young, and I lived a different lifestyle. And I was in my very early 20s. By my mid 30s, I had kind of stabilized and righted my ship, so to speak. And I started, went back to school. Part of that was Hawaiian studies, and in 2006, I was at Windward Community College, and my professor in Hawaiian studies was Liko Ho. He was at the
That's the last Kia'i convoy.
The convoy at Kualoa. He was my professor of Hawaiian studies, and I had occasion to speak with him outside of class. Quite a few occasions. His brother happens to be my classmate. So I was able to kind of, I don't know if I gained a rapport with him, or if I just, because I was a very good student at the time. I became one. And I learned more in that semester than I had ever known about Hawaiian history before. And I think that I still had more to learn, of course. I'm still learning today.
Yeah, we all are,
Yeah. So, from that time, from Kalahui, Hawaii to Hawaiian Studies in 2006 to the first time on the Mauna in 2015, where I was totally in support of Kukiai Mauna from 2015. It may have felt like a bandwagon thing back then, but I knew it was different than that. When July came around last year, and it became a thing. It became real.
What do you think made it real then, though? As opposed to 2015, because obviously we didn't have that same movement,
right,
from 2015.
The trucks were going to go up. They were actually going to go up, and when I saw Uncle Walter chained to the cattle guard, I had no idea who everybody else was. I didn't know who Kalekoa was. I didn't know who Heoli Osorio was. I didn't know who Imai Kalani Winchester was. I know them all now.
Right, yeah.
To a degree.
Right.
Uncle Walter has been a face of the Lahui for decades, since Protect Koholave Ohana. And when I saw him chained to the cattle guard, pleading for the mauna. I was in already. I was here.
Right. Yeah.
I was here, but I was in. And 2 weeks later, I was on the mauna for my first trip. And when I came back, it just solidified my commitment. I was in. I was in the movement.
I think like most of the people, yeah. So how would you characterize this movement?
Kind of
Movement today.
kind of like a new birth and kind of like a rebirth, all in one. Because our generation doesn't know what it was like to be under the kingdom. We don't know what it's like to be govern ourselves and have our own aupuni. I believe that it's like a baby with an old soul. It's like we know where we need to be. We've been there. I've heard Lamakila said it's in our bones. Our bones will help us remember. And I've attended about 6 of his protocol workshops, and I hula now. I've never hula before. So, and it felt uncomfortably familiar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know how to do this, but it feels right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same way, where it's like uncomfortable, but we know where we're going, and it's like I believe the movement is kind of finding its way to where it needs to be. Like everybody's playing their part, and I just believe that we all have. Everybody has a different skill set, and we've all developed that throughout our lives. And I think that in whatever way we can contribute, using our talents, our gifts,
Right.
to contribute to the lahui is how we should contribute. Like for me, I have I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, and that's what I contribute to the lahui. We need that too.
Yeah,
we need people to be on the front lines and be disobedient,
Right.
in a peaceful way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
When the system lines up to allow for wrong things to become legal, to be done legally, the law needs to change.
Right.
What's right should be what is pono, and what is heva should be illegal. The wind turbines in Kahuku should not be going up.
Right.
I believe that. That's why I stood against them, or sat against them, if you will. And so I think that the movement has helped me gain my voice, politically, so to speak. And that's where I'm at with that.
So what do you think the movement has taught you? It's just one thing that sticks out to you.
Patience. We've been in this position for 127 years almost, and you'd think by now we'd know patience.
Yeah.
But having this movement happen has kind of filled everybody with that eagerness to want to see it to happen now.
Right.
You know, and I think that staying the course and being patient is what we have to do. There's a lot of people that become impatient, and I think that we cannot. We have to stay patient. We have to, in order for it to work. We have to.
So, as far as patience goes, which I think a lot of people would characterize this next term that's flowing around the movement a lot, is what does kapu aloha mean to you?
Kapu aloha to me, and
if you had to put it simply,
my experience at Kalailoa kind of said it for me. If we say or do anything that gives the other side ammunition against us, I think that violates kapu aloha. I think that as long as we don't give them ammunition, we're in couple
We're in Kapua. I think that's a good way to explain it. I think that makes sense for that. Yeah. So, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the Hawaiian people today?
Historically, it's been division, divisiveness in the lahui. Not all Hawaiians support this cause. And even within the group that does, there's different ideas and people who are, we have people who are headstrong that need to have their way or feel like they need to have their way. And I think that our culture teaches us to be humble and take a step back. We don't always have to have our way.
Right.
And that, be open-minded to other people's ideas too.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll put everything together, it'll be right.
Yeah, we definitely need different ideas and perspectives, which is the good thing about having, so much people in the movement and just, all these minds. We have a lot of great minds. So, do you think the government cares about the Hawaiian people?
No.
Why?
Well, I voted for David Ige.
Blame
first
him.
time.
Blame him.
And less than 2 months into his first term came TMT issues, other issues that affect the Hawaiian community, and both there were two that stood out. One was TMT, and one had to do with I can't place it right now. It was a Native Hawaiian issue that his decision was, they were both like back to back, and they were both against. And this is David Ige now, not the whole government. Not everyone in our government is bad. Not everyone in our government is against Hawaiians. But generally speaking, the structure of our government is not built to cater to Hawaiians. It's not built to. It's a very Americanized, and I believe that the American way has killed Hawaii for 127 years. I believe it's killed Hawaii. Before that, when we were in charge, our people thrived over here. And I think that if they allow us to make Hawaii thrive again, it'll thrive for everyone, not just Hawaiians. And I don't want it just for Hawaiians. I want everybody here to thrive, That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's an important thing to bring up that, because I think when people that don't know too much about the movement, or when sovereignty is brought up and stuff like that, people are like thinking they might get kicked out of the state, or out of Hawaii or something like that. But we had Hawaiian subjects, right? So it's like people
right.
Stay. Yeah, so we're not trying to get everyone out of here.
No.
I think that scares some people sometimes, and I think that might be why some people go against the movement.
I don't know how we could. I don't know how we could get
right.
Get through.
We need a big boat.
Yeah,
it's a really big canoe. Okay, so if there's any one issue you could solve immediately, what would it be?
You just said it. Sovereignty. Sovereignty.
So you'd like to see the kingdom restored then? That's the one issue you'd like to see.
Yeah.
First,
the hugest thing.
Okay, so what do you think is the most misunderstood or most mischaracterized part of the movement? Like when you hear, people that are against it, like their opinions, what do you hear commonly?
That we're stuck in the past. That we're, yeah, you hear we're uneducated, we're unemployed, we're homeless, we're welfare. But I think that we're stuck in the past now. I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm trying to go forwards. In sovereignty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What that looks like and how that would shape up, it has yet to be discovered, honestly. There's ideas floating around. How would we base our economy? How would we? We don't have gold. we would probably base it on the American dollar. It's already here.
Probably, but I think at least as long as everyone's on that page or something, then we know where we're going though. And
Right,
then, there's a lot to figure out when it comes to sovereignty, but I think, like I said before, like we have a lot of great minds in this movement, and a lot of people who come together and make a big difference for that, and
people
and make it work.
People who have already thought long and hard along these lines
for 127 years,
longer than I have. So yeah, the ideas are out there.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say to someone who may not agree with or is on the fence about the movement?
If you look back at how life was when Hawaiians were in charge of Hawaii, and how everybody thrived, and what's happened since Hawaiians were removed from that position, and now we have people sleeping on the streets. There was no homelessness. Now we have people who are unemployed. We didn't have that problem. People found something to do. I just think that if you look at how we were able to thrive and under our own self-governance, and the situation we're facing, the issues, crime and drugs, and the issues we're faced with today, that how can anyone say we didn't know what we were doing?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's how I see it.
Okay, so as a kia'i, what do you think is the best way, like another kia'i or anyone would be able to contribute to the movement? Like, not just money or, we're just talking like, what is perform protocol every day, or, what is the best way someone could,
I kind of touched on it earlier. I believe everybody in the Lahui has their own skill set, their own gifts, their own talents. And to find a way to use those gifts and talents to contribute, like I'm a rebel. I can contribute that.
So find your gift then, and use your gift in service of the Lahui, right? Yeah.
Like you have a knack for doing videos.
Thank you.
And that's what you're doing. One of the things, anyway. I know you're involved with other stuff too, but
so many things, man, going on.
I know.
It's
like I've been all over this place, man.
You too. I think you do a lot more things than I have. Like
I'm just all over. That's
right.
All. I don't know if I'm doing more. I'm just everywhere.
We're trying. You know what I mean? We're trying to contribute. Yeah, that's a good thing. So, new question. I know normally I send people the questions when they ask for it, but I'm gonna pop this one on this guy right here because I gave him the questions earlier. It's an easy one though. It's real easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question and you have 3 seconds to answer me.
3 seconds.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I'll give you a hint. It's a name.
A name.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
So you got 3 seconds to throw the next person under the bus and tell me who do you want to come in front of the camera next.
Nakia Nai Ole.
Nakia, you got called out right there. So set it up. I'll be messaging you. This guy, blame this guy.
Blame me, brother. Love you.
Right on, but I actually know Stefan over here. Stefan with a V. Actually, I used to call him Steven, but it's Stefan because he's German. I know him as the Awa Man. Everyone that knows him already knows what this is and why it's on the table already, and know that we already had a cup. I think he had 2 already, so he's ahead of the game right now. But Stefan's awesome. I see him out there all the time. Always got a smile on his face and always contributing and everything. So it's good to have a sit here with you and have a conversation. A lot of stuff coming up. It's January now. It's the new year. The week of the 13th, of course, everyone knows we got the stadium event coming up. I think we got Kui at the Capitol, right? I don't know what day that is. That's the 10th.
Friday.
Oh, so that's before.
No, that's different. The 10th is the airing of the Jam from Mauna Kea.
Right, they have that.
Yeah. Get your tickets.
And then we have the stadium event on the 13th. And then Kui at the Capitol. Is it Kui at the Capitol on the 14th?
14th into the 15th, I think.
There's some of that, and then I know we have the Onipa'a March on the 17th. It's gonna be a super busy week. We were planning a Kia'i convoy on that following Sunday, but we decided to postpone because that week is super busy, and we think everyone's just gonna be like aloha aina out already for the week. So be on the lookout for the next convoy, so you guys can join in for that. Anything you want to say to everyone out there watching and listening? Shoot them a message, you know.
It's
talk to the lahui.
It's just that it's been my greatest honor and privilege to be a part of this, and thank you guys for letting me be a part of it. Yeah, this is the biggest thing. It's changed my life.
You've changed a lot of people's lives, yeah, for the better.
Yeah.
When it gets better from here.
That's what I got.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
All right, bye.